Gonna wait a moment for people to come in the room if they just can't get enough of us and have to come back for
Where
more.
is everyone?
Crazy people.
It's
Crazy
getting,
people.
it's getting echoey in here with just the two of us.
It is. It is. So, what have you been up to since the last live? Hi, Overlord.
God, Matt, so much has changed. I'm another person. I've learned so much. I think I've grown as a person since the last live. You
Have
know,
you?
my attitude to life is just different. My whole philosophy on existence. I've had a lot of time to think about things and considered, you know, just quiet contemplation mainly. Is what it mainly was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Harry has had a lot of time on his hands to contemplate things
That was
and
some
think
quick
about his stuff.
composure right there. That was good.
You're welcome.
Don't
I
break
know
it
how to
now
gain
though.
my bearing. Yes, bearing. Overlord, what have you been up to since the last live as we wait for people to come in?
Catching up on some sleep.
Get some good Z's? Do anything interesting?
Been anywhere nice?
I got a little color to my skin, is what I did.
Did like a
A
few
nice
seconds on the
glow.
tanning bed.
Well, yeah, a few seconds on the tanning bed would turn me pretty red. So probably, yes, yes. But I see we have one other person in, so I guess that means we can start. We are not alone.
The audience is
The
here. The audience has
audience is
arrived.
here. So we are from the Breath of Daydreams, Angelique and
Of the poet, Harry.
Harry of the poet. Ash, it's never just you. You are Ash, the awesomeness, the most magnificent. Overlord says the last live was 10 minutes ago. I didn't get far. That was the joke.
Way
That
way
was
to
the
kill the
joke.
joke, Overlord. Thanks for that. You had so much opportunity for being the damn Time Lord. You literally could have been
You
anywhere
could
and
have been
everywhere.
anywhere.
And it's
You
like,
could
no,
have.
I just haven't had time. I do like the irony of that. I just haven't
You
had
could
any
have told the
time.
whole amazing story. Ash is
Oh
like,
well.
what is going on here? Um, but so we are members of the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets, or as he says it, the purr sounds better. Want to go for it?
Secretly a perfect poets. I had a bit of an Irish
Oh,
twang there.
ooh.
Perfect poets.
We're
The
all of
secretly
that and more.
perfect. Secretly perfect
Perfect.
poet.
The
Yeah,
perfect
maybe you
poets.
don't. Maybe you don't do
Per-
it.
I shouldn't do it. No.
Per
Per.
perfect poets.
I was going for like a Irish
The
pirate.
perfectly pirate poets.
Um, Overlord says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I only got allowed in halfway through the joke." And Ash says, "You should have asked him when, not where." No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
true.
That's our fault. Um, they were in the waiting room in the other dimension.
You can't make a joke now. You had your chance.
Yes, it's too late, Overlord. Too
Too
late.
late for
Go
you.
back in
Too
time
late for your
and
time
hit it
joke.
on the mark. But as part of the society, we give secret prompts out for all the poets in the society to write to. And every Friday, we like to play on the old 60s Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. Not the movies. We do the old series. Dun, 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 dun. Or we can do the ones that are with the, what are those little yellow guys called? The
Nah,
Minions.
nah, nah.
Minions.
We can just leave that. How can you? What? And you'll take that over. You might as well allow the Mission Impossible movies if you're gonna allow
Over Tom
stupid
Cruise,
minions.
any day I
Yeah,
would take a minion over
He's
Tom
basically a
Cruise.
minion. He's
Well, he
essentially a
is. That's
human
true.
minion.
A Scientology minion, but they're
I just
yellow
meant
and
because
they
he's a
say
tiny little
banana.
guy.
Um, and so on Fridays we do Mission Impossible. Pause. not pos. And so
Oh
for
yeah.
this Friday, the mission was, if people chose to accept it, was to tell us what the universe dreams about, travel across dimensions, timelines, and the vastness of space. Explore your thoughts and let your creativity expand beyond their farthest horizons. What does the universe dream of? 16 plus lines. And we included an image to be inspired by if they wanted to. And then if they wanted to go for the golden ticket, they had to write a second set of poems from the perspective of a dandelion seed, flitting across all of time and space in order to seed reality with the creativity of life. And they either had to write 5 haiku, not senru, or a 12 plus line poem of alternating end rhyme and alternating 11 9 syllables per line. And we only had one person do that. And we're going to read him first. And that would be our professor, Mike J. Dennis 5. And so he is the only one that got the golden ticket. Golden ticket. Da, 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 and all that jazz.
Oh, that stuff.
Ash's arc dandelion. Oh well, you missed out. You missed out, Ash. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? Hob, Harry.
You go first. You go first.
Okay. So this is Mike J. Dennis 5 over on Instagram, and it is called Cusp of a Star. Sitting upon the cusp of a star over the Milky Way, lost in solar dreams too well known to me, a silence of cracks and bumps and stellar winds, from the stormy void like depth that blows them in. My mind murmurs and groans to itself, the thin, soft voices pouring through them, seeping. I look. Do others hear them too? These celestial thoughts seek to hem us like dead planets, pin us in. Those black holes are where the prison walls begin. A dreamless power where light is gray and weak, and stardust catches sunbeams as they fall. Reflect them back again, all dizzy and bright with split gold meanings. Your dreams are free. It's true. But for just a while I stall and watch the comets of flight gain height above cosmic cliffs that divide the sunlight from what I see. Ooh. What's your favorite line?
I think to hem us like dead planets, pen us in.
Yeah, I like the pin, P-E-N, instead of pinning us in, pin, like write us in. So
Yeah.
I really like the idea of that, because that's saying, so what is the universe literally writing the script?
But also like a pen, yeah, the pen that you keep the animals in, so you're penned in.
Isn't that
So
P-I-N?
the hem, but I don't know whether it's, I don't think it was spelt differently.
Oh.
I thought it was P-N.
Oh, maybe I've
So
always spelled it
I
wrong.
like that. It
Yeah,
creates that imagery as well, because to hem us
the duality.
like dead planets, because a hem is the edge, isn't it, of the fabric?
Yes,
So
it
so
is.
it's like being penned in with
Yeah, I
the
like it.
hemmed planets penning in. I like that.
Yeah. And Ash says, yes, great line. That was my favorite line as well. I like
Pen. Thank you, Ash.
pins are pokey or restraining.
Yes.
Well, that's what, or restraining. And so a pen is restraining, like a pen
No, a pen, like a, what do you call it? Like a pig pen.
is
Pig pen. It's like
P-E-N.
a low fence. P-E-N.
I thought
I'm
it was
pretty
P-I-N.
sure.
Yeah, I got it wrong. But then what are you referring to as restraining?
Pins, because you can pin back something, can't you? A pin, you restrain some, I suppose.
No, that is
No, that's
restraining and
fine.
confining are very different things, says Ash. Okay, thank you.
They are spelt completely differently for one. And what's your favorite line?
That was my favorite line.
Oh, that was your favorite line. But I chose that was my favorite line, so you have to choose a different line.
You don't share.
All right. Well, maybe we both have to choose another line.
Okay.
'Cause I have to do mine.
So if I have to choose a second one, my second favorite line would be, oh, I'm torn between two.
Which
I would either choose a silence of cracks and bumps and stellar winds,
is exactly the one that I was
or,
gonna say.
or it's true, but for just a while I stall. Is that what you're going to pick as well if you had to pick a
No,
third?
that wasn't. It was probably going to be the stardust catches sunbeams as they fall.
That's pretty too. Yeah.
But
I
it's nice. Mike's really great anyway. He always
always.
does such damn poetic poems. He definitely understands the essence of poetry.
Yes, and I love the title of it, the cusp of a star. Cusp. I like that word. Nice word. Ash says, ooh, that's nice. It is. And I liked the imagery, but not for the physical imagery of it. I liked the thought imagery in it. He really went to, what do they dream of? What are they thinking? What is it
Celestial
contemplating?
thoughts seek.
Yes, so I really like that. Ash says that's why he's the professor. Yes, so this is really,
Yeah.
really beautiful. Thank
I
you,
mean, it's just
Mike.
the more you look at it, the more you see how much the lines play with each other, how much the words
Oh,
play with each other.
they all play with each other. I mean, if we were
Yeah.
really going to stay here for like 2 hours
Yeah.
or
It's
three
one of those ones
hours,
you could really get into, and then you start seeing all the double meanings and how those double meanings play off the other double meanings, and yeah.
oh, it would be fun to break down. Yes, absolutely. But I will
And it's one of
admit
those
that
ones that feels like there's rhyme there, and there's sort of gentle rhyme there, but not really. It's more like cross rhymes
yes,
than
I
rhymes,
see
which is
cross
nice.
rhymes. Yeah.
Yeah, like to hem us like dead planets and pen us in. Yeah.
Yes. But what I also like about it, do you watch Doctor Who?
Nope.
So what I also like about it is, if you watch Doctor Who, one, there's still, you can, a silence of cracks and bumps and stellar winds. You can read into that, and you can also read into, from the stormy void, like depth that blows them in. I mean, and then the black holes over the prison walls begin. This could be a Doctor Who poem, especially since Doctor Who had disqualified Harry. Uh-oh, you're not going to get to read anymore.
Just
You just upset the Time Lord. Um, but this could be a Doctor Who poem because of that last season, and then linking it all together. I don't think it is, but it could be, and I like that.
all right. I'll take your word for it.
If you get to geek out, I get to geek out on occasion. It's very
Oh yeah,
rare,
that's
but
fair
it
enough.
does happen.
That's fair enough.
So, and he did the golden ticket, which Harry's going to read.
I am.
Oh, yes, you
Oh
said
yeah,
you were.
that's right. There it is. Okay. Firmament's shore. These seeds are strewn across the firmament's shore, drifting gently in cornered fables, scattered in the minds each mystery they spore, upon each world's wind proper, damn, Propagable.
Propagable. You need to start over.
Propagable.
Propagable.
Yeah, I got to
Yes.
start over. That just doesn't sound like a real. That's not a pleasant
Propagable.
word to say. That's not a pleasant word to say. Propagable. Wow, that's why am I having such
Just
trouble? It
just think of
looks
it this
so
way.
simple to look at, but when I try and say it,
Think of it this
propagable.
way. I'm English and I'm proper gable.
No,
Proper
I don't want to.
gable.
I don't want to. I don't want to think of it like that. Proper a proper gable. It's like there's gables and there's proper gables.
That's right. So think of it that way and you'll get it.
Just say it in a in a. Can I read it all in an American version of a Cockney accent?
Yes. Don't do
World's
that though.
wine. And is that meant to be wind or wind? World's
The
wind
bunny twirls.
proper gable. Proper
Wind.
gable?
Wind. Propagable.
And
Propagable. Think
propagable.
of probable
Propagable.
and add a ka. Propagable.
So telling me to think of other things. I'll just think of that. Wind propagable. Propagable. Just sounds silly. I apologize, Mike. I will read this. I will read it now. These seeds are strewn across the firmament's shore, drifting gently in cornered fables. Scattered in the minds each mystery they spore, upon each world's wind propagable. A poet's mind spread wide, celestial winds that float, away dancing as they go. Seek another home, the occasional minds, in time and space, stop and think and flow. Yet ponder they breathe in the scent of the earth, glorious damp air foretelling rain. The sweetest pages of this life-giving birth take root, that each given thought may reign. In the oft but hardest pathways of the mind, wrapped in wonders, germinating grain. I didn't get the flow of that at all.
It's beautiful. I like the way that he literally took the dandelion seed, going out and seeding all of time and space, and he brought in different aspects of what goes into the fertilization uh,
Mm.
of such seeds, from upon each world's wind propagable, the mystery that they spore, dancing as they go, and then the glorious damp air foretelling rain, because you need that moist soil for a plant to germinate, a seed to germinate usually. Well, depending. I mean, some need fire, but that one you need moist soil. And then
Don't look at me,
the
I'm no gardener.
well, like if it's like certain things, for example, like oh, what are those type of nuts called that are from trees in South America? That won't germinate until it's got to get hit with fire. It has to reach a certain temperature for it to do it. Some things have to have a freeze. All seeds have their own conditions before they'll germinate and sprout. And so I like that he brought that in. And then I like the last two lines because he literally brought in the word germinating grain, and oft but hardened pathways of the mind, wrapped in wonders, germinating grain. I love that, in the oft but hardened pathways of the mind.
I think I like the opening two lines the best, just because it paints quite a picture. These seeds are strewn across the firmament's shore, strewn across the firmament's shore, drifting gently in cornered fables.
Yeah. And because it says fables, you could have said propagable. Use your English accent on it
Fables,
so it rhymes better. So
propagable. It doesn't.
Brazil
It doesn't
nuts,
sound because
yes,
you wouldn't.
Ash. Brazil nuts.
say it in your English accent. You wouldn't say propagable. You'd say propagable.
Propagable. Well, how do you say fable?
Fable.
Oh, Ash says such
Did
beautiful
you
words.
say
It is.
fable? fabble and propagable.
Y'all say weird words. Y'all say aluminium.
Yeah, but that's how it's spelled.
That is not how it's spelled, and it's not how it's said
You
either.
can't just spell
Ask the
things wrong
French.
and then say them wrong and then say that's how they're spelled, so that's how we say it.
It's not spelled aluminium. It's spelled aluminum.
Yeah, if you spell it wrong, I'm pretty sure.
No, because that's actually it. Never mind. Going off on a
It's the
tangent.
whole deal.
Don't tangent. Don't tangent. No, but I watched a cool. I watched a video talking about the origin of words, and they were going back because of all the arguments that happened between the U.S. and the U.K. on different words, like aluminium, for example, or aluminum. And so it was taking it back to the origin of the word and where the word originally come from and how it was said there, et cetera, et cetera. And in that particular case, we Americans are right, kind of like Adidas and Adidas.
That's like Nike and Nike, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
So, I mean, and Nike should rhyme with Aphrodite because it's it's from the same selection of names because Nike is a god, isn't it? That's why
Why
it
should
is.
it rhyme?
Or it's a Greek name. No, it's not. It should rhyme. It should be said similar because all of those
Yes,
Greek god names, the E is a long E, like Nike,
yes,
Aphrodite.
yeah. Y'all do words wrong quite a bit, which is strange because it came from you first. So it's like, oh, we were just like, you do have to wonder. It's like, so what? Did Americans go, screw the English? They're wrong anyway. We're doing it the right way. Or I mean, because you would think that we would just say what y'all said,
I
wouldn't you?
think I don't know. Just language changes, doesn't it? For
It
whatever
does.
reason, it's hard to pinpoint changes because similar changes can happen separate from each other, and then they clash and make new changes. It's
Which usually
all
got
part of the fun of
immigration
language.
and yeah.
Yeah,
But this was back on subject. This was really
yes,
beautiful, and I especially I just like the other one where he was really capturing the mind. This one I really liked because he was capturing that seeding of creativity. He didn't just do the seeding like seeding and growing, but he literally was seeding creativity because he kept bringing in
Mhm.
the minds and thoughts, and that's why I think I like that next to the last line of is in the oft but hardened pathways of the mind because it's seeding creativity. So I like that. And that was the
Yeah,
prompt. So beautiful.
nicely done,
Thank you, Mike.
nicely done, Mike.
And next we have Melrose Poetry 18. That's Melanie. Insane Fantasies. And Ash says such beautiful words.
Yeah, and Ash made the Brazil nuts joke that I just thought in my head because it was terrible.
It's not a joke.
But
That's what I was
I
talking
did.
about.
Is it actually? I can't believe that seems too obvious. I thought it was a joke. It's like, no, I can't say that. She can't mean like, what are those nuts from South America? So you mean the nut that is the name of the country?
Yes, I couldn't
I
think
didn't.
of the name
I
of the
thought
country.
you must be thinking of something more obscure than that. Some obscure.
But they're called no, but they're
It's
called
not.
something else too. They're called Brazil nuts, but they also have another name. And I was trying to use the other
I
name,
would
but I
imagine
can't
there's a
remember the
proper
other name.
name
Yeah,
because I
there's a
imagine
proper
they don't
name.
call them Brazil nuts in South America. Probably not.
Mm,
Do they?
I don't know. And Harry says, Ash says, "Be nice, Mom." Yeah, be nice. Why are you
I
picking
thought I
on
was
me?
being nice. I was being nice. I was thinking more of you. No, no, she'll have some sort of complex, obscure thing on her mind. So
Ash says,
I thought,
"Bertholation." That's not what I was thinking of, but maybe.
I wouldn't know. So you could just tell me that's what it was, and I'd believe you.
This is Melanie's Melrose underscore poetry 18, and it's called Insane Fantasies. It's so easy to explore the universe Lean back, unwind, and simply relax. Close your eyes. Promise not to rehearse. Stars, such romantic notions coerce your spirit to take it to the max. It's so easy to explore the universe. Unpredictable may appear adverse, so does the symmetry of comet tracks. Close your eyes, promise not to rehearse. Harboring a closed mind is the reverse. Her lucid dreams for us lie in the stacks. It's so easy to explore the universe. Being tied to gravity is a curse. There is a dimension the earth lacks. Close your eyes. Promise not to rehearse. Within insane fantasies immerse, you'll taste the genius of maniacs. It's so easy to explore the universe. Close your eyes. Promise not to rehearse. Villanelle.
Mm-hmm.
Ash says they say it in Portuguese, Castanas da Brazil.
Fair
It
enough.
is a Brazil nut. But
Nuts of
this was,
Brazil.
yeah, absolutely. Ash says so nice. Yes, it's really nice. I love those two. I love the two refraining lines. It's so easy to
Mm,
explore the universe. But then I like it
yeah.
the following up because it's almost hypnotizing, luring you in. Close your eyes. Promise not to rehearse. Um,
Hmm.
there's a tease there. It's and then the center lines that go through. And I like the axe with the earth. Uh, I just think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. It's a really nice choice of rhymes. Really contrasting rhymes. And that was an interesting one to go for. Rhyming universe and rehearse and coerce and adverse and reverse. Yeah. Curse,
immerse.
immerse. Yeah.
I mean, they're half,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice choice.
And I like even the way that the center lines come in. If you were to read them alone, lean back, unwind, and simply relax your spirit
Mm,
to take it to the max. So does the symmetry of comet tracks. Her lucid dreams for us lie in stacks. There is a dimension the earth lacks. You'll taste the genius of maniacs. I mean,
yeah. That's
there's
pretty
something
cool.
there. It's pretty, it's really
Mm,
beautiful. So I just like, she says insane fantasies. She's really going for this sort of groovy, man. Groovy. Uh, harboring a closed mind is the reverse. So what's your
yeah.
favorite
That's the
line?
line that I was going. That the line you just said.
Why do you keep picking
Really
my lines, Harry?
harboring a clue. I don't. You keep picking my ones
I don't
first.
think so.
That's
I don't
not
think
fair.
so.
Or
You
you'll
have to.
taste the genius of maniacs. Then I like that. Just
Yeah, I
because it
like
goes
that one
the
too.
insane. It just goes with the insane fantasies, and you'll taste the genius of maniacs.
Well, I like that one because muse or muses back in the day, hundreds of years, were genius. That's what they're called, is genius. So when you read it that way, you'll taste the genius of maniacs. You'll taste the muse of
Hmm.
maniacs, which kind of goes with all of that as well. She has a lot of play on words.
Yeah,
I
it's really
love
good.
this.
And just the villanelle. I love it. I like that form. It's really nice. It's got that
Yeah,
hypnotic quality, which just lends to.
it is, and she wrote it in a hypnotic way, which I really
Yeah.
like. And I like the line. So does the symmetry of comic tracks. I like the symmetry of comic tracks because they do. It's a really amazing poem.
Yeah. Great one.
Love it,
Love it.
love it. Way to go, Mel. Okay,
Well done,
next.
Mel. So the next is Mercury poetry with the
Dot.
universe that dreams. Sorry. Mercury dot poetry.
Um,
The universe that dreams. Going to sleep still full of energy. Having trouble, so I'm counting the stars. Worried of all orbits planetary, mainly that annoying blue one and Mars. I'm hoping for not another nightmare where I spin and spiral for all time. How my fabric has all those rips and tears, and how I have gas and quasars at times. As I fall to slumber, out like a light, I traverse the eerie fourth dimension, completely dark yet the brightest of white, not what's real, but my dream's own perception. Beyond four, everything all at view, blurry with constant motion in a blink, all parallels, in front, around and through, lasting forever, yet only one plank.
Oh, he uses science words.
Mm-hmm. And isn't
I
isn't
like that.
Planck the name of a person? Isn't that a name?
Yeah, and tears is something too. Hold on.
Yeah,
I
that
just want to
seems
make sure
stood
I
out
get
as
it
very
right.
specific.
I want to make sure I get it right and don't mess up.
But I like all the sleeping references blended with those science references, and it made me smile. And how I have gas and quasars at times.
Yes.
I think
And
that's a
so
cheeky line.
it's definitely not tennis, is it? Please say
Hmm?
it's not tennis. Well, I'm looking it up, and all it's coming up is tennis stuff. But I thought it was I thought it was a
It's
astronomical.
very specific because we've got it in little
Yeah, I know.
inverted commas there. So you'll probably have to like Google Tears and physics or something like that. I like going to sleep still full of energy. Great opening line.
The,
Having trouble, so I'm counting stars. All of that really specific imagery being specific sleep and space imagery smashed together really nice.
well, they have
And that,
tires. TYRES. The tire
yeah,
converts the torque.
well that'll be what that is. Rips and tires, nightmare. That's why I said yeah, like tear, because I was
That
trying
makes
to trying
sense.
to get it close to rhyming with mayor, nightmare, and tear.
Ashes. Yeah, Ashes. That's my boy. Yeah, I like that. I like what you were saying about it as well. And I like that uh, he's really thinking about it from a dreaming perspective of somebody who doesn't want to do this or wants to do this, but then using these terminologies that we're aware of in an
Mm.
astronomical type setting. But
And I like the little elements of humor in there as well because it's nice sort of dramatic imagery, and then you've got that annoying blue one and Mars. It's just
yes,
so sort of basic, because almost conversational, thrown in after this wonderful orbits planetary and counting stars. Mainly that annoying blue one on Mars.
yeah, and I like where he goes into the dimension aspect of it. For as I fall to slumber, out like a light, I traverse the eerie fourth dimension, completely dark, yet the brightest of white. Not what's real, but my dream's own perception. I like the
Yeah,
whole fourth dimension thing. And then as he drops down into the next one, beyond four, everything, all of view, blurry with constant motion in a blink, all parallels in front, around, and through. He's describing the dimensions, but doing so poetically. And I like that a lot.
yeah. I think I was trying to pick a line, but I think I just like that whole third stanza.
Yeah, I like that too. Um,
I like the end rhyme, the last line, the first one, but then I can't pick a
yeah.
line, so I choose the third stanza as my
So
favorite.
you're
They're
choosing
all good
mine
lines.
again. You're stealing mine again. Is that what you're
I
saying?
already had.
Harry,
I'm gonna say my favorite one first next time and prove it, and then you'll be
Harry,
like, oh no, that was mine as well.
Harry doesn't even pick his favorites. He's just like waiting to see what I say. They going, yeah, that's fine. Um, and what did the Overlord say? Overlord says, oh, it's talking about Mel, fabulous Mel. Oh, she wrote a fabulous pantomime last night for my April Fool's prompt too.
Pantomime.
Well, that's what she
It's not what
spelled,
it is.
pantomime. She means pantoon, right?
Yes.
But it says pantomime.
Pantoon.
It says pantomime. A stunning poem that incorporates a garden of popcorn and, and cotton candy.
That's your visual, your sort of interpretive dance version of popcorn.
The pantomime of popcorn and cotton candy because it's got a spin and
Oh
then
yeah,
it goes
okay, I
poof.
got you.
Makes sense. You would
I
not
was
be
just
good at
imagining
charades.
cotton candy on a stick, and you're just doing that.
Because to get on the
Yeah,
stick, it's got a
yeah.
yeah.
I'm with you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Inksomnia _ poetry, Sharon. And she says, the universe dreams of an easier life, imagines shrinking to a manageable size. 93 billion light years across means that of everything, the universe is boss. Ordinary matter, dark matter, and energy belong to the universe universally. But what belongs in a multiverse? Stars, planets, galaxies, another Earth? The universe dreams of a partner in crime in this continuum or an alternative time. It wishes were as easy as dandelion seeds, another reality would be dreamed into being. The universe dreams of unilateral peace, the Big Bang before where loud noises ceased. A time of calm, a sea of tranquility, intent, cordial, and sensitivity. The universe dreams of ordinary things and ordinary joys that this might bring. A simple life, a stressless existence, at one, at last, with time and distance.
My favorite line is the last line. Bam! Said it first. You're not allowed to choose it. At one, at last, with time and distance. That's great. I mean, it goes really well with the line before it as well. So if I have to pick two lines, so you don't get the last two lines.
I don't get the
Mine.
last two lines. But I am constantly saying I crave a simple life and a stressless existence. So you're stealing
Doesn't
my
matter. Nope.
identity. Maybe I'm the universe.
I'm stealing your identity by choosing. Good grief. All right, you can
Oh,
have that line. My goodness. I'll
oh,
take the
you're gonna
last
give
line.
it?
You
I
can
don't
take
want your
you can take
stinking
the second.
line.
You don't want my tip. Hey,
Oh,
apologies, Sharon. It's not a stinking line. It's a great line, and I chose it as one of
her
my
line
favorites.
doesn't. Her line doesn't stink. Your choice. Um, I choose. If I can't have those, I think I choose. I want those. I choose in this continuum. We're not show time. I want those.
See,
Um, well, it just means you must have very good taste since you're stealing my lines.
stealing your lines.
And I also like another reality would be dreamed into being. Because I just like the idea of that. I mean, if the universe is doing it, it has to be true. But I also like the idea of it in the sense of, the nice philosophical talks about dreams and stuff. How do you know that's not real? How do you know we're not in a dream? I've dreamed entire lifetimes that seem very real. And when you're in it, you don't know if you're in it or not. So we could be a dream. And when we go to sleep, whoever's dreaming of us is waking up.
Mm.
It
I think this is my first migraine.
That was cruel. Really? I know you've had to have that
I
debate.
get you.
You're just messing with me. You're trying to yank on my chain. And Overlord says, haha,
Exactly.
taking credit for Harry's good choices. Sounds like my
Exactly.
argument. How am I his good choices when he makes them after I do? Usually.
I made them first. I just didn't announce them.
So you're saying I could read your mind?
I technically, no, you just coincidentally have, as good a taste as I do.
Hmm. But this was, I really like this, Sharon, and I loved your rhythm and rhyme of it.
Yep.
She
Love the
created this
rhymes.
very timey-wimey kind of feel to it. It was quite dreamy, even though the words weren't dreamy. The rhythm of it was dreamy.
Yeah.
Over there says, "You says he had good taste because he's stealing my lines." Your turn.
What?
Your turn.
My turn for what?
To read?
I thought you
Are you
wanted me to
trying to buy
comment
into
more
the
on. I
overlords
thought you
wanting
wanted
us
me.
to
I thought
argue
you wanted me to comment more on that. On that.
on
Okay,
how
so we're
perfect
moving on.
my line choice is? If you'd like to, you can. Why
Yeah,
you
those last
steal
few
it?
lines were great, weren't they?
Hmm.
So the next one is by Salam _ let's _ talk Phaser. And this has no title, right? We're just going straight into it. This almost looks like a little story. I don't think I've read this. As slumber gently embraced my weary bones, I relinquished to the much-needed rest, my limbs melting in the comfort of a warm bed, my soul lifted to visit the realms of the universe beyond my reach whilst biding my time here. I traipsed on the nebulous mattress of fleece spinning in colours my eyes failed to grasp. Tearing my gaze from their mesmerizing design, I sprinkled some whimsical stardust on my feet as they lifted me to float along their coruscating trail. Ensconced in their resplendence, I dipped my toes in swirling milky ways of the cosmic dance and found myself unraveling a shimmering spool at a time. The ability of existing beyond corporeality, the essence of being. A particle within the vastness of the magnificent universe, with sights far enchanting than my mortal mind could comprehend. As I felt a familiar tug, I found myself yearning to stay as a particle filled with reverence of the majesty of the Creator. I felt a heaviness descend upon me, and as I opened my eyes and recognized my pale white walls, my firm mattress and cold toes, I knew I was back. Until next time, my soul settled for another bite-sized reality as we know it. I see glimpses of it in the dewy blossoms in a faraway land, the first flight of a falcon, the breath of a dandelion, and the kiss of a melting rainbow hidden in a mother's touch. I choose the last
Aww.
line again.
Why do you choose the last line? Since you're just jumping so fast
I
before we
just
can
like
even savor the
I like
moment.
all
You're
the
like, mine, mine,
description and the
mine.
rounding off. I like the phrase "the breath of a dandelion." I think that's
I
a
like
really
the
cool
melting
phrase.
rainbow hidden in a mother's touch. But yeah, that's a cool phrase because dandelions are awesome.
And just
But
seeing glimpses of it, seeing glimpses just the way it references, and just seeing all that in the dewy blossoms. Yeah, glimpses of it
yeah,
in the dewy blossoms of a faraway land. First flight of a falcon, and that's just nice to say. First flight of a falcon.
it is. It is.
Kiss of a melting rainbow, hidden in a mother's touch. Lovely. What a nice way to end.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ending. And I'm torn between that. But there was a part up above that I really liked when you read it. Um, and if we're going with the whole line from like beginning to period, I like Tearing my gaze from their mesmerizing design, I sprinkled some whimsical stardust on my feet, but this next part's the part I really like. As they lifted me to float along their coruscating trail, ensconced in their resplendence, I dipped my toes into the Milky Way of the cosmic dance and found myself unraveling a shimmering spool at a time. I love the use of coruscating because I don't often hear coruscating used as anything other than like coruscated roofing and stuff like that. But a coruscated
Hey,
trail, huh?
corrugated,
Oh,
coruscated roofing.
oops, corrugated. I got the word wrong. Well, I was thinking, well, then what's coruscating mean? Because I was thinking of a trail that's like the rocks go, and I was thinking it's corrugated. So I'm a dummy. What's it mean?
I don't know. I know what corrugated roofing is, so I know that it's not coruscating, but I don't know what coruscating trail is. Sounds good though.
And
Float
Ash
along
says
their
heart
coruscating trail.
gaze. Well, let me look up what it means. I was
Hmm.
thinking it's like, how the beautiful, how like where you are, sometimes you'll have the rocks that are like on top and top and top and top as you're going up a trail. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's all pretty, pretty, very fairy
Just
looking.
sounds like you're describing a wall. Those
No, not
rocks
your
that are like on
walls.
top of each other, go along the
Your
side of the road.
walls are great too, but not, oh wow, this means nothing like that. Extremely intelligent and exciting or humorous. Wow.
Coruscating trail. That's completely different. It gives a completely different.
And Overlord thinks it means sparkling or flashing, a coruscating kaleidoscope. Well, what I'm reading says it means,
That's what the image that I was getting from that. It was that it was going to be some sort of sparkly, twirly kind of thing.
how interesting. Yeah, I see that further down the page, but the first several things that I'm pulling up, even from Cambridge English Dictionary, says extremely intelligent or exciting or humorous. He is known for his coruscating wit.
Is there not a below like second uses for it underneath or anything?
No, but if I scroll down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once I get to Merriam-Webster, it has that. How interesting. And then right beneath it, it says it can be applied figuratively to describe a compelling speech or rhetoric. So it goes back and forth, which is interesting because that's two very different definitions. Though I guess to have a bright wit, it could be said your wit would be sparkling.
I don't know. Overlord has got some completely different results.
Yeah, for me, that
Scathing
was the
also.
top. It also comes as scathing for number two. How interesting, or severely
Hmm.
critical. And I don't have that on the first page at all, which it's
So
interesting
maybe it's
too.
and yeah, so that's maybe it's a regional thing.
Regional, and also depends upon what we search for and what our belief systems, and are we right? Are we left? Are we somewhere in the middle? Are we this? Are we that? I think that all comes into play as well, because I know when I don't have things all turned off, which I usually do, I know back whenever I was on Facebook and stuff, because so much of my family thinks very differently than I do, I would end up starting to get all their kind of stuff coming in. And so I sometimes think that depending upon what you bought, well, I know depending upon what you purchase, depending upon what you watch, I think it does profile each of us and shows us.
Yeah, it'll tailor results to your usage because it's trying to work out. This is probably what you meant, isn't it? This is probably what you're looking for to save you
Yeah,
time.
but I should have got the sparkly one. I mean, Faza literally calls me sparkalicious. So I'm jealous.
Well,
I'm
but yeah,
jealous.
aside from whatever that means, it was a nice little story almost. I also like that the ability of existing beyond corporeality. There's that little break, which is like the
Yeah,
consideration where it trails off. Where you're
I
just
do too.
considering the
I like,
essence of being.
yeah, and I like the dreamy. I like the dreaminess aspect of it. She was. I'm going to sleep, and in my dreams, I'm the universe,
Yeah,
and this is how I
but
see
it
the world
feels like
as the
it feels like
universe.
a proper a description of a lucid dream because
It
it's like
does.
describing being in the dream as if it's you actually there and the things
Yeah,
that you're doing within it. Like she's got this element of control to it almost, but then doesn't have the element of control of waking up.
and
But she
I
can
like that.
describes the feeling of waking up and realizing because it feels like you're in this other place in a lucid dream for real, for real. It feels like
For
you're
real,
there,
for
and then you
reals.
suddenly you realize you're not, or you have that transition where you're in both places.
But for reals, or for like really, really reals.
But well, it feels the same, doesn't it? So
I'm teasing. Yeah, I liked it for that way too. And I
like for
also
really,
like the
really, really,
way for really, really, really reals.
really,
And I
really,
like
really,
the
really.
really, and I like the way that she used to stay twice, where she says, "As I felt a familiar tug, I found myself yearning to stay as a
Mm,
particle filled with reverence." That repetition of stay coming into the reverence, I love that because uh, one, it almost it hits a pause, doesn't it? It's not just it's not just I found myself yearning to stay. She could have stopped that and then went on to the
yeah.
next sentence. But by adding that to stay as a particle filled with reverence, by adding that second stay, it just gives more weight to that reverence, I think. And so I
Mm,
really like that additional weight. That's how I read it anyway.
yeah.
So
No,
I
I
think
go
it's a
with that.
cool word choice. And I just love the word reverence too, because you don't often hear people use it, and it is such a fun word to say. Reverence. But then you got the, so reverence.
Hmm.
All right. Great job, Feifei.
Yeah, that's really good.
And then next we have Genevieve Blue. Genevieve Blue, universe. A conscious drifting, weightless, yet burdened. Silence that overwhelms, sounds that make you wonder. The origin of existence. She is a mother looking down at her baby with loving adoration and the slightest pinch of consternation, excitement, and fearful trepidation. A constant game of creation and destruction that repeats itself over and over. She's a mother. She dances on eternal dance. She is a mother, but her feet never tire. She is a songstress. She enchants, she inspires, she provokes, and she devours. She's a mother, an abstraction and a truth, a mystery and a revelation. She dreams of tomorrows, but tomorrows are todays, todays are yesterdays. She dreams of an endless future. Time does not exist for her because she's eternal. She's the universe. Beautiful.
Mm. I like all of the repetition is good. I like that. Almost like refrains, but yeah.
And the way that she used the rhythm, the assonance and consonants in it to really not everything rhymes, but they almost rhyme, but the sounds are
Yeah.
the same.
It
Ash
all
says, "Oh,
feels, yeah.
yes." Um, and I also like this is going back, to different mythologies and stuff, but I like where she says she's a mother. She dances an eternal dance. She is a mother. Her feet never tire. And because when you look up at the top above it where it says over and over, and then it goes down into back into the she is the songstress, there's several mythologies, that talk about the spinning goddess and that talk about singing birth into life, singing creation into life. and from all over the world and throughout back in time, that do that. And so she's really playing on our own mythology, but putting it, or playing on mythology that already exists, I feel like. But I don't know if that's true. This is what I'm reading into it. And then putting it back into uh, the poem in a simpler way. But my favorite line, shush, Harry, I get to pick first. If I'm just going by the lines and not the words, because I have favorite words and a favorite line, but my favorite line is she dreams of tomorrows, but tomorrows are todays, todays are yesterdays. She
Good
dreams of
line.
an endless future.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick because
So many nice
there's
words.
a lot of commas, so you could kind of
Yes.
choose it as a line, or you could choose the whole thing. Because I like the silence that overwhelms, sounds that make you wonder, which is like
That's pretty too.
it's like the middle of a whole. I mean, it's like 2 out of 5 lines that you could consider all one line.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice. I mean, that's the beginning of the poem. But I like that stands out, especially silence that overwhelms, sounds that make you wonder, and then
Yeah, I
just
like
ended
that.
with the origin of existence.
Yeah. And then I like it where it actually drops down, where she's talking about, the birth of whatever the universe is created, because she's a mother, she's a creator. But I like the way that she describes that, looking down at her baby with loving adoration, the slightest pinch of consternation, excitement, and fearful trepidation. The rhymes are just gorgeous on that. The
Mm.
rhythm is gorgeous, but the actual description of the face looking down to capture all of those emotions in that beautiful, beautiful way that she did, I think that's pretty bad. That's the one I was like, oh, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. That might have just edged it into favorite for me.
I like how it follows. How what follows is a really simple description. The constant game of creation and destruction that repeats itself over and over. After you've had that loving adoration
Yes,
and slightest pinch of consternation, excitement, and fearful trepidation, a constant game of creation and destruction
it's
that
gorgeous,
repeats
and
itself
I
over and over.
and I love that she brought that into there, because to create you must destroy.
Yeah,
Um,
can't have one
so
without the other.
you can't have one without the other. So, yay, Genevieve, that was awesome.
Genevieve.
Genevieve,
Excellent.
yes.
And now it's you. So we've ended
You
on me
get to
reading
read
your
it.
one. Oh, and I get to read it all completely wrong and watch you cringe in the corner of my eye as I
But you've
hit
already,
every syllable wrong, and and the flow will be completely off, and you'll
but
have
you've
the
already
music
heard
in
me
your
read
head
it.
playing
So if you
behind.
mess up, that's on you.
Yeah, but I
So I
can't
hope you
read
were
like
paying
you
attention.
anyway. No, I absolutely wasn't.
You probably weren't. You probably didn't even listen. You're like,
I had you muted at the time.
I'm sure you did. You're like, let me push play, mute. Is this done yet? Can I turn it off?
I was just listening to the babbling brooks that I was recording earlier instead. It's much more
Probably.
fun.
Oh,
This is
I would
this is
listen to
hectic.
those too. I would listen to those too. They sound
You'd
so
take a
peaceful.
babbling brook over your poem
Over
any day.
my own poem any day. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I will try and read from the Breath of Daydreams what dreams aren't made of. Discombobulated assimilation detected. Freeze frame skewed towards same renditions. Repetitive catastrophe floundering erased ambition. It's late in the early stages. Itchy progress fleeting wrong. Jive, twist, hive blend this. Seed or feed, need or bleed. Concede, proceed. We reject the dejection of completionism, analysis pending comprehending, stagnating dawn of wrecked cognition. Pretty, 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 please. Drowned glitter bomb emergence. Seize. Infiltrate the stilled state. Mind, not matters. Such simple standards.
Keep going.
Oh, I thought that was the end.
You really didn't listen.
It's because I have to swipe across on this one instead of roll down. I apologize. Avoid avoid in the brewing catastrophe. 5, 6. Smelly stat. Smelly stat. It's a crime to leave you in the vault. Think not what the universe can do for you. Think, don't blink. Holy galaxy bombs. Universe. I'm a singing unicorn. Take that, Vrizcleffer 29.5 parsec 80. Nah. Can't touch this. Little do they know. So. If that big bang wakes me before I finish, no. Dude. Oh God, that's
It
so
was
ridiculous.
manner, not matter. Manner. Read it
What?
again.
Where did
It isn't.
Where was that?
That's because that's what it's supposed to be, Overlord. He didn't sing it.
Where? Which bit are you talking about?
Smelly stat, smelly stat. It's a crime to leave you in the vault. 5, 6, because Phoebe goes 3, 4. So I went 5, 6 because this universe is continuing.
All right.
And it was manner. So you need to read it again. Go.
Where is man?
Mind, not manners. Not mind, not matters.
Oh,
Yes,
damn.
really, Overlord. It really is supposed to be that. And the MC Hammer line should be na.
I love Overlord saying they like it now. What are you trying to say?
The Overlord hates my poetry.
So before
Usually they
then,
don't
it's
get
like,
it.
oh my God, they're reading that again. Oh, Friends reference, love it. Brilliant poem.
So read it again and do it right. And the end
Right,
has to be
I'm still gonna do it
powerful.
wrong.
Powerful, because dude, not dude, too powerful.
I can't
Go
really
for it.
do powerful at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't really do too powerful.
Well, do
You're
dreamy.
getting subdued. That's what you get.
Oh, I guess we'll take
You wanted
dude from here.
you want it read right, you read it. I'll say the words correctly. I appreciate that you want the words said as they were written, but I'm definitely not gonna read it in the way you read it. I can't do that.
Overlord says, I was like, what the hell? It makes no sense. I get it now. It makes total sense. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
I'll
you
get
read
my
it.
own
You
thing
show us
wrong.
how it's done.
No, I'll get it wrong. You did a good job, actually. I thought you did a good job.
I made it my own, even though I changed a word and
Even though
didn't
you
sing the
changed
bits
it.
he wanted me to sing.
What dreams aren't made of? Discombobulated assimilation detected. Freeze frame skewed towards same renditions. Repetitive catastrophe floundering erased ambition. It's late in the early stages. Itchy progress, fleeting wrong. Jive, twist, hive, blend this. Seed or feed, need or bleed. Concede. Proceed. We reject the dejection of completism. Analysis pending, comprehending. Stagnating dawn of wrecked cognition. Pretty, please. Drowned glitter bomb emergence. Seize. Infiltrate the stilled state. Mind, not manners. Such simple standards. Avoid in the brewing catastrophe. 5, 6. Smelly stat. It's a crime to leave you in the vault. Think not what the universe can do for you. Think, don't blink. Holy galaxy bombs. Universe, I'm a singing unicorn. Take that, Rezekifer 295 parsec 80. Na 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 na. Can't touch this. Little do they. No. So. If that Big Bang wakes me before I finish, no, dude. Get it? It's just a bunch of mess.
Why would you put a word in there that even you can't say?
because this is supposed to be like the universe is a young adult who's like all getting split stuff with all the sound waves coming at them, and they're ticked off but happy about they're a computer program young adult creation machine thing that is not happy about being told to do it this way. It is doing it that way, and so it's like getting a little cray cray, and then they figure out, wait a minute, I don't have to do what everybody says. I'm a singing freaking unicorn. And so they tell that universe over there that dumped them like last week, or that won't pay them any attention, whose name happens to be Rezekler, because he's 29.5 parsec away. She's like, take that, just like a young woman would do. And then she jumps into the na 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 na. Can't touch this because he ain't gonna be. And then goes into little do they know. And then she gets really happy and says, if that Big Bang wakes me before I finish, because nobody wants to be woke up before they finish. No, I think, dude, DEWET. It made sense. Y'all just have to get into my mind.
I mean, the way you describe it sounds like it
Exactly,
makes
Ash.
so much sense to you.
It makes sense to Ash.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. Overlord says, and now we know how Angelique's brain goes. Exactly, Overlord. And Ash says, all the grinnings without the spinnings. Exactly. Thank you, Ash.
Is please spelt like that on purpose?
Yep.
Why? Because it looks like fleas?
No, because it's please, as in begging, please. Because she's the universe, so she creates and destroys.
Pretty,
so
please.
pretty, please. So she's like, oh, they're so pretty. But then it's also pretty, please is playing on the pretty, please. So it's catch up with my brain, Harry. You can't steal my favorite lines if you can't keep up with my brain. So what's your favorite line?
The Rezcleffer line, because it's mad.
Really? That's why? Because it's mad?
Take that Rezcleffer 20. I mean, that is not a line you get in a poem, really, is it? Take that Rezcleffer 29.5 parsec 80.
Overlord says cray, but Ash says multiple. Exactly, Ash. Multiple. And she freaking loves it. And this is why Ash is my dude.
You're both as mad as
And the dude was thrown in there just for you, Ash. You know that, right? My favorite line would be, well, I like the Phoebe thing, because I like to think that in another universe, I could be Phoebe. Ash says the Hatter line. There's a Hatter line?
I'm a singing unicorn is pretty good as well.
I did that for Leslie because we're catacorns.
Catacorn just sounds like an American snack because you.
Oh
my God!
That's a unicorn.
They have the best catacorns.
It's a cat. That's a unicorn. What is the Hatter line, Ash? Because I don't know what my Hatter line is.
Ash is just making up stuff.
Oh. Oh! Did you see that? Ah! Overlord just said I could be Phoebe in another universe. I'm so happy now. I'd make a great Phoebe. I think my favorite line is, well, I like the pretty please line because that was quite smart. But I like drowned glitter bomb emergencies.
Yeah.
Because you gotta have, because
like
the glitter bomb's an emergency. So emergencies. That's my favorite. Yep. And Ash says Harry referred to bad lines. Oh. Harry thinks he's the Hatter now. Do you wear hats?
Not really. I got myself a top hat recently for some reason.
Are you going to take a picture of yourself in it for us?
I have one somewhere.
Did you hear that, Ash and Overlord? Harry's going to show us himself in a top hat. That's what was just said, right? Am I disqualifying Harry again? He doesn't know what, he doesn't
Yes,
know
I
what a
know what
smelling cat
smelly
is,
cat
right?
is.
How can he not know? He's a cat lover. He has to
Goodness.
know it.
I grew
Ash,
up with friends. I know what it is.
Ash says catty corn makes me think of Lemmy-Winks.
Let me. Oh yeah, South Park reference.
Oh, that's why I don't get it. I don't know what a Lemmy-Winks is.
Lemmy Winks. Isn't Lemmy Winks the hamster that lives inside someone? There's a yeah. There's a certain reference to it. He's like a gerbil or hamster that was inserted into a gentleman,
Oh, they
and
went
it's like,
there. They
but
Roger
it's
Gear.
but
They Richard
they turn
Geared
it
it.
into this, but they turn it into this kind of fantasy adventure where Lemmy Winks is off on this little adventure through the intestines and meeting these yeah,
They
it's
literally
very
Richard
silly.
Geared it. That is bad.
Yeah, but they took it to the extreme to
Intestinal navigation.
make a point
And
that it's
y'all watch
a
this.
stupid over the top rumor.
Yes, very stupid over the top. You guys are
Intestinal
awful.
navigation. Yeah.
And the Overlord is so happy she doesn't have to disqualify you. He doesn't have to disqualify you a second time. They don't have to disqualify you. Ash, very quest like. We have one more. But I sent it to the wrong one. I meant what's
I know
happening?
is it the
It's the
Overlord, which
text
is
at the
right at the
end.
bottom.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and since you didn't get the note, Tearsmith is tear. Tear is tear. There. It's all in the same line, they said. I haven't read this yet. So when you get to that line, remember Tearsmith, tear, tear.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna copy this onto a note thing so the lines aren't all broke, because I'm pretty sure WhatsApp will have broken the lines
Oh,
incorrectly when it's in
mine
text
aren't
like that.
broke, but I'm on
Maybe
a
it's
big
just the way
computer
it's.
screen.
Yeah, that'll be why. Oh, come on. Excuse me one moment while I copy and paste. Talk
And
amongst
this is
yourselves. Yeah, that's
by
better. That'll be.
VJHD.Writer, aka the Overlord, aka the Room Moderator, aka the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets co-founder.
Yeah, what Angelique just said.
Mm.
The Tearsmith. What do they call me these days? I've had so many names, you see. I've seen all the names that have come and gone. I know what they'll call me years from now. Should I be offended that they never asked? I make up everything big and small. I am every atom in every being. Dreams have come and gone between the folds of time as I stretch out for my morning yawn. Did you hear the whisper of truth as it flitted away with lies? Don't bring salt to a space fight. You may unleash nothing on something new. How much room is there in your head for me? Can you feel the rumble of immensity? Have you gained perspective yet? Surely you haven't, since you brought flowers to a sword fight. I wish I could go back to bed. You don't seem to understand, do you? The fire is burning everywhere, not just at your feet. I have seen everything that ever was, all that will ever be. I know why you are looking at me quizzically. All you can see is yourself in a mirror. You haven't even heard me. I dreamt you all into existence. I retain the memory of who you were when you die. All life passes through the master of dreams. every tear in reality, the tearsmith of creation. The crack in the wall doesn't snap back on this side of the paradox. The social insanity of society is a black hole. Last line is
Well,
pretty good.
somebody woke up on the dark side of the bed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the
Like
last line is
that's
pretty good.
the social insanity of society is a black hole. Sad face.
Did you just emoji them?
I just deployed a vocal emoticon.
I think my favorite line, well, has to be the one right before that. The crack in the wall doesn't snap back on this side of the paradox. And yes, it is a good read. Ash says good read. It was a good read. And
Thanks. I
Overlord
wasn't
was
sure whether I
joking.
got it right because it's a different kind of it's more like story explanation kind of thing rather than
It's a
because as I was
prose.
reading it, as I was reading it, I was thinking, oh, am I gonna wait to see a scheme here that I haven't hit? But then I thought, oh no, it is actually reading more like
Yeah, it's the
like
universe
prose.
being, all funny. Like, what do they call me these days?
Hmm,
And then just going into this snarky sort of
yeah.
monologue. I figured you would like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Don't bring
Um,
salt to a space fight. You may unleash nothing on something new. I like that. You may
yeah.
unleash nothing on something new. That's my
Can
second
you?
favorite line. So yeah, last line in that one. Mine.
Wow, possessive much? And I like the.
Thank you,
Can you
Overlord.
feel the rumble of immensity?
Mm, yeah, rumble of
Ash says
immensity.
worth hanging around for. I was only worried about the tear. But I like the way
I
rumble
think
of
I would have got that
immensity
if you.
sounds.
I think if you hadn't told me about the tear and tear, I probably would have
Sure
got
you
it
would.
from the way it's written. Every tear. I mean, who would think every tear in reality? That would make less sense to me as I was reading it. Every tear in reality. And then it would
But
sound weird to be like every tear in reality, the tearsmith of creation would sound odd. So
I also like the line, I retain the memory of who you were when you die. Not when you died, when you die. Mixing the time up, the reference up. Yeah, there's a lot of who lines in there. You should be very impressed with yourself. I think you and Mike both who'd it. Did you catch my who line, Overlord? Did that one just for you. I put things in my poem for about the universe for everybody, for all of you people who are like crazy enough to hang out with me on here. I put lines in there specifically for each of you. Y'all just didn't catch them. Y'all didn't catch
see
them.
I'm so detached from Doctor Who. When you talk about Who and Whovian and stuff like that, I just think you're talking about Dr. Seuss and the Grinch and the Who's from Whoville. That's just what it sounds like to me. That's immediately the
Really?
image that conjures up when it's like, yeah, it's a Whovian piece. I'm just imagining these little upturned nose people and their sort of rhymey ways of talking, like Dr. Seuss.
Time you want me to. I can see where that would happen, I guess. That makes sense. But
It's like, man, the Overlord's really obsessed with Dr. Seuss, or they're obsessed with the Grinch for some reason.
Ash
So
is
it's like, yeah,
giving
I wrote a
treats to
whole
all the
piece in
kitties.
Whovian. It's like, wow, that must be mad.
Ash,
Yeah.
Overlord says, well, you picked a Whovian line, Harry. You did, Harry. And Ash says, me too,
But still,
Harry.
even with explanation, it's still in my head. I'm thinking of the Grinch characters. I don't think that'll
You,
ever change.
out of all your geeky TV-ness, you haven't watched Doctor Who. Like, not the
Yeah,
old stuff, yeah, but the new
that's
stuff.
that's that's not like cool geeky stuff. Nah, because when they
Yes, it
rebranded it,
is.
No, because when they rebranded it, the whole ad campaign stuff here was like, oh my god, I get it. You've rebranded Doctor Who. My god, it's cool now. I understand.
But but but
It's just, it's too.
but
It's. I'm sure there's great sci-fi content, but it's just too much. There's too much of it. I don't
it's
like
got
things with too much. It's got too much stuff.
the greatest love story in all of time and space. They're going.
Believe you.
They spoilers. Sorry, everyone, go away. Spoilers. They literally meet each other coming from opposite directions. So his first time meeting her is her last time seeing him.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. If you're time travelers.
His first time meeting her is her
Yes.
last time seeing him.
Because they're time travelers.
So she's been aware of him the whole time, and he hasn't been aware of her.
Had a clue. And she dies to save his life, just as he realizes how important she must be to him, because she says she whispers his name in his ear, and the only way she could know his real name is if he marries her.
Sorry, Ash is on my side.
Okay. and they meet this time. They're in the biggest library in all of the universe that's made. All the books in it are made out of trees that are alive. And so now the trees, because they got all chopped down and turned into these books, the trees are like these phantom people eating things that look like shadows. So if you're in the library and a shadow comes up and it's not your shadow, it's just gonna eat you, like dead, all gone, eat you.
No, it sounds too much like a comic book to me.
But you like comic books, don't you?
No, I don't. Not
No?
especially. No, not really. I'm not a Marvel person. I'm not a comic book person.
Aren't you the
There's like
person that
two.
said that you had didn't?
Yeah, I have particular things that are like the best versions of those things. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League is the best version of a recent superhero movie. That's all you need. But yeah,
Well,
when it comes to time travel and stuff, that's too time travel and sci-fi. Doctor Who, nah. Go watch Primer.
I'd read it all for you, Overlord, for him, but he doesn't care. He doesn't like time travel stuff. He's just not cool. It's not a
This
comic.
is just
Yeah.
the
It's not a
comments are just going to be
it's not a
flooded
comic.
with Overlord explaining why Doctor Who is just the best thing objectively in sci-fi. Yeah.
It's not a comic book though. It's more a commentary.
Well,
It's a it's a sci-fi commentary on social causes. They take on all the social causes of the time and they put them in.
Yeah,
And they
I'm
travel
sure
through
it's great
history
sci-fi.
and into space and across other dimensions.
Yeah, it's got that whole Star Trek kind of
It's not
vibe
Star
where
Trek
it's
at
like
all.
no, but it's got that whole vibe where it's like, yeah, this could just go on endlessly.
It's
I
more
don't want that.
it's more like an alien version of Sliders.
Yeah, and Sliders was one of those ones again. Good
You didn't like Sliders?
sci-fi. Yeah, it started good, but there's a whole thing about Sliders, which is just we could do. I could do a whole live on, because it's an interesting story how it got created. Like if you watch the pilot, is spectacular, and it dramatically changed after that, and then there was all controversy about it.
Yeah,
I
the
geeked
Lady
out on
Doctor
that show
sucked.
recently.
I think you'd like Eccleston. I think you'd like Matt Smith. Oh, and
No,
what's his
Eccleston is
name?
good. He's a good actor. That's why he left after the first season.
That's not why he left. Do your homework.
He's like, oh damn, let me go do some proper acting again. We shouldn't go down this rabbit hole because I'll just enjoy making fun of Doctor Who just to watch you guys react.
That's cruel. Do you hear that, Overlord? Harry's
I can't speak
mean.
on it. I can't speak on it just because I'm not into it. So I haven't watched it. So I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's. I mean, it's got such a huge following.
It's
I love
got
sci-fi. I'm
monsters
sure
in
it's
it.
got great sci-fi concepts. I'm sure, but it's just
It's
not
got
my kind of
robots.
sci-fi. It's not silly. It's too much of a blend of silly and proper sci-fi. I
It's
either
very serious.
like hard or soft sci-fi, hard sci-fi or soft sci-fi, one or the other, not a mixture. I just, yeah, never.
No more votes for Harry, right? Harry just lost Harry points. Bad Harry. Very bad Harry. On that note,
Sure.
now that Harry ruined the wonderful evening for us. As you are being upsetting, Harry. Yes, Harry, you are being upsetting.
I apologize, triggering Doctor Who fans.
I guess we should say, go away, Harry. Go to bed. You have been eliminated. Are you gonna jump in your bed?
I won't. I mean, we're done anyway, aren't we?
Overlord says if he watched it, he'd be hooked, but he hasn't watched it now. So raspberry emoticon disappointed. I think you would.
Way too late in the game to be getting into. I've far too much.
That's why you start at the beginning, and also you picked all of my lines, and I happen to love Doctor Who because they have some great lines.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch Doctor Who.
We'll get you. I'd
like to say I'll give it. I know I won't be able to watch it. I know. I can appreciate that it's good fun, but I know I won't be able to watch it.
Good fun. Well, Overlord.
It's not good fun. I mean, it is, but
I don't know what to do.
Simpler and more basic than it is. It's a highly complex and intricately designed web of science fiction genius.
And Overlord says, and you were drawn to us, so it is meant to be. It's true. That's true. And Casper says, why does it always glitch? Half of it is another video playing. Maybe
what is going on with your
Casper, I don't know. Maybe watch the Space Salt episode then.
You can't pick episodes. I'm trying to be honest here. And I'd like to say, all right, I'll give it a go at some stage. I know I probably won't, so I'm just going to flat out say I'm not going to watch it. I just downloaded the series of Watchmen. I got enough to deal with at the moment. See, that's the kind of superhero thing.
You could watch Farscape.
That's because I only downloaded that because Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack. It's an original soundtrack to the Watchmen series, so that's going to be good.
So you only do things for music?
No, it's just that. Things link, I like the connections. And if you've seen The Social Network, the music that they did for that, it's just made the film. They're awesome.
How in the world did we get to The Social Network?
See, this is the danger of linking to movie tangents, and I will just endlessly connect all movies I've ever seen together.
Oh, and Casper says Doctor Who, which is a good one. No, that's the line. That's the line. And Overlord says, so missing out, Harry. So many points lost as a TV fanatic. That's true. You just lost some of your mojo as a TV fanatic.
No, go watch Rabbit Hole
Live.
That's much better.
That's right, Ash.
Yeah. Go watch Red Dwarf. That's better. Or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Much better. Don't get me started.
No, who's better than those? Do you like Farscape?
No. Yeah, see, this is that whole. Nah, see,
how can you not like Farscape? I mean, the end bit, but the beginning.
Babylon 5 or bloody what's the Stargate SG whatever?
Which
Just go watch
Stargate?
all of those. Exactly. Just all of those endless sci-fi shows. Watch the Orville. The Orville I'm on board with because that's like
What?
Star Trek. Star Trek in reality. That's like real Star Trek, and it's funny and has excellent sci-fi stories.
We just learned that Harry has no taste. Casper says
You
just
don't
called
like
it
the
a time
Orville.
hole.
The Orville
Never
is one
watched
of the
it, couldn't get into it.
best recent. The Orville's one of the
Couldn't get
best
into it.
recent sci-fi series. It's excellent.
Well, this night has ended in disappointment for me.
Well, let's end it on agreeing that Firefly is a perfect series. Come on.
I wouldn't say perfect. The ending
For
certainly
sci-fi,
sucked.
it's brilliant. How did the ending suck? It was a great movie.
I mean, no, the movie was great. The movie was
That's the
awesome. I
ending.
cried. I know, but the series wasn't supposed to end on the movie.
No, because it was cancelled, so they had to make the movie. Poor Joss Whedon.
Well, he got it for Dollhouse. That is like he shouldn't have thrown Dollhouse up at that time. If he hadn't have thrown Dollhouse up, maybe that would have went on. But nope, he offended the whole world with Dollhouse. Um,
By the way, this was a reading of poetry live about half an hour ago, in case you're tuning in late.
Sorry, guys. I guess we should probably end this now, shouldn't we? Before we go anywhere else. Thank you for coming. What you just saw is an example of the conversations that can happen between the kiddies who are members of the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets. If this is not your idea of fun, you should probably run. Overlord is really upset. How can you love that and not love who? I know he has no idea what he's
Because
missing
one's
out
great
on.
sci-fi and the other one's cheesy nonsense.
You don't think that Firefly was cheesy and nonsensical?
In a completely different way. And no, it's not
How can
cheesy
you say
nonsense.
that? You've
It's
never
great. It's
watched
like
it.
it's like a Western in space. Exactly. It's just funny to watch you react. I
It's
told
not
you.
really a Western. I mean, if you knew what Westerns, if you lived,
It's Western inspired.
inspired, yes.
Yeah.
Like if you Hollywood Western.
Yeah. And it makes me feel like I'm playing the game Fallout New Vegas. It's got those vibes. Which is Western inspired sci-fi. Yep. There you go. See, I'll tie it all together. If you give me a minute, I'll tie everything together and why I like it.
So you like it because it reminds you of a video game? Which came first, the video
With the
game
music.
or
Don't know actually. They're from a very similar time.
Ash? Of course, all sci-fi is like westerns.
Yeah.
Get back. Damn frontiers.
This is ridiculous. Well done, everyone that wrote poetry. Well done, anyone that stayed listening to us completely divert from what we started.
And we apologize, universe, for hijacking your dream. That was right. The universe is on fire, and you're all nuts. Thank you guys for writing, and we will be back.
We'll let Overlord go breathe into a paper bag for a minute.
And we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, midnight GMT, to read the prompts that people did from the show before now, and to read the rest of the haiku and tanka. And Ash got disqualified honorable mention. Yes, well, go watch the last episode. Go watch the last live. Get your prompts to write to and see us royally screw up and place our favorite as a disqualified person. That is what happens at the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets. That's why it's a secret. Nobody would believe it.
Yep, we make rules that we don't even understand ourselves.
That's right. Poem.
Yep. Don't get cut off.
So have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, Harry, and arguing with me and, breaking our hearts and stuff. And we are the voices beyond the dead. We are the cats who will always win. We are the poets of imagination, creativity, and meow scratching alphabetical dexterity. We search for clues and hunt for treats. We base our prose on instinctual beats. We keep a sharp eye towards various causes. We attract certain types of poetic policies and apparently bad ones too. We have a propensity for finding the fun, but not being studiously serious with puns. We are the voices above the fray. We're the safe space for those with something to say, unless you say you don't like Dr.
You are out.
You are out. Exactly. Do you know that reference? Do you know that do you know the game show where she's like, that really bitchy English woman says, you are
Think
out.
about what you're saying, and you just got the reference wrong for one, and it's hosted by an English woman because it was an English show that she just went over and did over there. The
I don't
weakest
know
link
who
you're
it was.
talking about.
The weakest link. Yes.
And she
Goodbye.
says, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye."
You are the weakest
Do you remember
link.
that show with the English woman where she's like, "You're out.
It's the
You're
same
out of
because
here." Remember that?
shush. But you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Because
You
Doctor
are the
Who
weakest link.
has
You're out.
that as
You're
an
out of here.
android, and instead of just making them go away, she kills them. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Dead.
What? Is that another version of the show that they only did over there?
It's not Doctor Who, and they did it on a different Earth because they took
that's
all the
lame.
different.
That's
No, that
such
was a
lame
great show.
reference.
That was a great show. It was
Man. See,
funny.
this is what I mean.
Android.
That's what I mean by cheesy
But cheesy
nonsense.
can be
Doing
awesome.
a weakest link. No, not a television reference. That's bad sci-fi. Doing modern references. Oh man, that makes me cringe.
But they had to do it but it's not a modern reference where they were. You gotta watch the show.
Excuses. Time travel
it's
excuses.
Timey-wimey. The Big Brother where they get zapped to death to be eliminated.
I feel like that weakest link reference is like 20 years old. Are you talking about a 20-year-old episode?
The episode is like, what, about 10 years old, 12 years old? The episode's pretty old.
I feel like that's still an old reference for 10 years ago. And I don't feel like it's relevant.
And the doctor blew up Pompeii.
That's like saying they did an episode where everyone was like, "What's up?"
They may have. I'm kidding, they didn't.
I bet that sounds like something that would not be.
It's an English show.
Yes, I know.
Now that I've said goodbye and read the poem and we've had our hearts broken a second time,
I just see these occasional comments of the Overlord, just like, and then he's just explaining all of these key moments. It's great, damn it.
Which is fitting since Time Lords have two hearts. He had to break it multiple times to just completely kill us and destroy us. It's time travel.
You mean just it's an excuse to do whatever you want? No.
He's not able to do whatever he wants.
I'm going to get more and more defensive.
He's literally.
So this is such an unnecessary discussion for the end of a live poetry read.
He literally broke his body over and over and over again for billions of years to just save a friend.
Yeah, but I mean, billions of years. If he's a time traveler that's constantly bringing back, all time is meaningless. So the concept of moving time would mean nothing.
No,
So
it did,
billions of
because
years
to do it,
isn't a long time if you're just constant. If time has no measurement, if you can
it
go
was
back
to
and forth
him
and you
because
can
he
constantly
was
regenerate,
alone.
how would
No,
it be a long time?
he was alone the entire time, trapped in a prison that they were making his most horrible fears come true to hunt him down and kill him. And it was only at the end of every single time that he would realize what was happening, and then he'd die. And then but he finally made it. He finally made it to the crystal part, which was like a bazillion trillion times harder than diamond. But he remembered a story from his childhood about a bird that and so he would punch it and break his fist, break his bones, and have to do that over and over and over and over and over again, billions of times. And he'd die right after, because he'd just die. And then it starts all over again until he finally hit it enough times that he broke through, only to find out that the people who put him in the prison were his own people that he had tried to save.
Oh no.
That was a heart-wrenching Overlord.
Oh, the heartbreak. Ah, it's hilarious. Like Overlord just telling me to watch it so I can argue correctly. It's so much more fun with the fact that you guys know I know nothing about it, yet you're still trying to convince me with these out of context explanations. But then he does this and he blew up Pompeii. It's like, means nothing. I haven't
He
seen
made
it,
a
so
toaster
there's no
to make a
context.
ghost catcher. Who you gonna call?
But the fact that you are supporting my absolute nonsense thing by saying these out of context things that just make it seem more
He didn't
nonsensical, because
punch
these
a
are all
bird,
out of
Ash.
context.
He punched a rock. He didn't punch a bird. He used the wisdom of the
I will
bird
never
to
watch it.
help him get out of the big giant puzzle box. He
I'm
used the wisdom of the bird, Ash. He showed the bird reverence so that he could save his friend's life. And then he tortured himself for a bazillion trillion McMillion years.
cool.
Bye. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. We apologize for the hour of poetry that was not poetry. Yes. Do you really think I'd watch something and go crazy over something that punched a bird, Ash? I thought you knew me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. If you didn't know anything about Doctor Who before, there's a chance you know the same amount that you did after watching this. I do anyway.
See, the last 10 minutes needs to be a prompt. Well, really, only a day since it was groundhog. That's true. That's true. Let him not get that. On that note,
I don't know what you're on about.
I never will, because you're not in on the jokes, because you don't watch Doctor Who.
Suits me. It's just the heartbreak every time.
Killing me, killing me.
Just the
All
genuine
right.
drop of expression. What?
It's painful. It hurts. It hurts. I am done reading the chat. Harry's bad enough, Ash. Harry's bad enough. Oh, maybe less Harry. We lost brain cells due to you, Harry. That's how I'm reading that.
Sure.
That's not very nice, Ash.
Well, at least now you might be able to go and enjoy Doctor Who.
She's
Nailed
trying
it.
to reverse psychology us into saying, into taking up for you. I'm on to you, Ash. I'm on to you. It's not happening. And on that note, Harry. Poof.
Good night.
Thanks for joining me. And thank
Thanks
you
for
guys for
having me.
joining us in the chat. We had a good time, I think. Did we have a good time?
Yeah. And thank you for writing everyone that did. Remember
Yes.
those poems we read earlier? Thank you, everyone that wrote those.
What poems? There were poems?
Yeah, right at the beginning. It was ages ago.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm old. Good night, everybody. May your paws stay inky. Thank you guys for writing.
Quite.